keep us a secret, pass us on.
Okay, all right.
To your friends.
Where your friends are.
Your family. Your social networking buddies. Tell them about the great music.
Great music.
With the Iceman doing it, Iceman style.
Hey there, this is Interviews with the Iceman. I am so excited today talking to my man Marshall Dane, Alcohol Abuse, one of my favorite songs that I play. Marshall, how are you, brother?
I am fantastic, my man.
It's good to hear it, man. I know you are so busy. I appreciate the time, talk to the Iceman a little bit. Fresh off of last night, I know Country Music of Ontario Award, you had a couple of nominations. Did you get to perform live there at all? Looking on social media, it looked like you had a good time.
Brother, it was amazing. I had a couple of nominations, like you said. I was a presenter for the Single of the Year, and I was also a performer at the top of the show, and the performance was just on fire.
Oh, man, that's awesome, man. Like I said, I saw a little bit on social media about it, and looked like you had a great time. Now, you were born in Ontario. You still live in Ontario?
Yep, I was born just along the Niagara Falls border, like so Niagara Falls, New York, Niagara Falls, Canada. I was born there, and then now I live just north of there, just outside of the city of Toronto.
So you're a Maple Leaf fan? Now, wait a minute. You're a hockey guy? I mean, I'm near Boston, bro. I'm a Bruin, man. I bleed Boston black and gold, man. But we can still do the interview. That's okay. I had the same conversation with Amy Rose, too, about the hockey. I read that you played your first solo. This is interesting. You played your first solo gig at 15 for $35 and a plate of cheesecake. Now, that's what I'm talking about.
Right? Hey, that's not a bad deal at all for a 15-year-old kid.
There you go. When did you decide? I mean, were you younger?
Well, what had happened was I actually walked into a little cafe that me and my friends would go to after we'd go to church. We'd go down there and we'd, have some sweets, and we'd have, a hot chocolate or whatever we were drinking at the time. And I wanted to get a job as a waiter, so I asked the owner if I could be a waiter, and he said you had to be 16 to serve alcohol. So he said, but I hear you play music, because, we would always talk about music when we were in there. And so he said, why don't you come on in on Friday and Saturday nights? One guy wanted $100, and that was ridiculous. I'm not paying him $100, but I'll give you $35, and you can have a piece of cheesecake if you want. And he had me a cheesecake.
There you go, man. That's what I'm talking about. I got to ask you, though, man, because song Alcohol Abuse, it's one of my favorites. I play a lot. I got to say it. I mean, the lyrics, it's just a lot of fun. The video I have up on my page. Did you write the song? Is that something you wrote, or was it presented to you?
This was actually one of the ones that was presented to me. And one of the rules that I've been told, or that I've taken on as a songwriter, and adding something to my collection that isn't something I've written, it's got to be something that I would have written, kind of thing. Like it would be something where I believe in every lyric of the tune. And in this particular case, I was pitched this by a friend of mine. There's a guy named Billy Yates out of Nashville and another gentleman named Kim Williams. And he pitched it to me as saying, hey, man, this song just sits on a shelf in a drawer, like nobody listens to it, nobody hears it. And would you be interested in recording it? And the minute, just like you and just like all of our listeners, the minute you hear it, it's so catchy and it's so fun. And I don't really do songs about drinking alcohol as much as I do songs that make reference to alcohol because of the environments that we grow up playing in the bars and in the clubs. And in this particular case, about 4 years ago, I heard a girl at the end of the bar night. We were packing up our stuff, and one of the bouncers literally was just helping out, carrying bottles to the back, and dropped a beer. And that was it. This girl yelled out alcohol abuse, and I thought, I've never even heard that expression used like that. And so sure enough, a couple of years later, some guy says, hey, I got this song, and it's called Alcohol Abuse. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So, I added it into my repertoire, and it's been in ever since. It's just a great, fun, high-energy, I bet you $1 million if you can memorize the lyrics first time around kind of song.
I had the pleasure to put the video up on the site, man, and the video, man, was so much fun, man. I wish I could have been there when they were making it, because even the video just fits the song. I mean, it just looked like you guys had a blast. Where did you tape the video for it?
We taped that in a town about maybe 40 minutes away from Toronto, a town called Hamilton, and the directors of the video, the production team that we hired, they had no idea about this bar, this saloon. And I told them, I was like, listen, I know the vision that I want for the video, and I know the location that'll make this happen. And they wanted to shoot it in Toronto, but I got them all to come on out to this other location, and as soon as they got there, they were like, oh, yeah, this is awesome. There's Harley-Davidsons on the wall. There's antlers with bras hanging off them. There's a Coyote Ugly-style bar where it jets out of the stage, goes right onto the bar. So it was the perfect location, and my buddy and I and another friend, there's three of us that wrote that script from top to bottom. You know, the characters Highball and Fuzzy Navel, you know, making characters and doing mug shots of them all. And we just wanted it to be really fun, and if you actually watch the video, nobody ever takes a sip of their beer, or their drink, they just spill it.
I know, and I noticed that. I took note of the tequila, because when the guy put the tequila in his eyes, I almost cried. You know, the ice, that's my drink of choice. But, hey, let's play it right now. This is Alcohol Abuse, Marshall Dane with the Iceman.
Alcohol abuse, shameful waste of precious booze. Hit the chicken wire in front of my face. Jack Daniels was falling like a rain on the stage. Then a fight broke down and a bouncer broke a bottle. Over all that noise I heard somebody holler, alcohol abuse, shameful waste of precious booze. Name your pain, whatever you choose. Oh, Highball, Bloody Mary, Fuzzy Navel, cooking sherry, mudslide, margarita, whiskey sour, straight tequila, screwdriver, hurricane, Shirley Temple down the drain. Every drop we lose is alcohol abuse. Well, the trouble escalated as the cops showed up. They busted through the doors, pulled out their handcuffs. Said, boys, you need some help, a little rehabilitation. We're running you in for misappropriation. Shameful waste of precious booze. Name your pain, whatever you choose. Oh, Michelob, Banheiser, Miller Lite, Budweiser, Newcastle, Harpoon, Lone Star, Blue Moon, Dos Equis, Amstel, Samuel Adams, gone to hell. Every drop you lose is alcohol abuse. Hey, yeah. Fuzzy Navel, cooking sherry, mudslide, margarita, whiskey sour, straight tequila, screwdriver, hurricane, Shirley Temple down the drain. Every drop we lose is alcohol abuse. Alright. Michelob, Banheiser, Miller Lite, Budweiser, Newcastle, Harpoon, Lone Star, Blue Moon, Dos Equis, Amstel, Samuel Adams, gone to hell. Highball, Bloody Mary, Fuzzy Navel, cooking sherry, mudslide, margarita, whiskey sour, straight tequila, screwdriver, hurricane, Shirley Temple down the drain. With every drop we lose, it's alcohol abuse. Every drop we lose is alcohol abuse.
Okay, that was Alcohol Abuse. You know, it's funny because every time I play that song, because it's in the rotation of the show, and, you know, even on the top 40, I make reference to, okay, he just named everything I just had for lunch. That's just such a great, man, it's such a great song, and it's like I said, it fits, and when I saw the video for the first time, I'm like, the video even fit perfect, but, you know, I got to say it, man, it is a fun song, and the listeners love it as well as myself.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, and I'm very appreciative of your spins, brother.
Thank you, man. It's great music. Now, the CD? Your CD is One of These Days.
Yep, that's correct.
And when did that come out?
We released that in the spring of 2013, and we released our first single off that in the same time frame, which was the title track, One of These Days, which I wrote back in July of 2011. And that actually got us up to 48 on our Canadian country charts. So that's our biggest chart we have here. So, I mean, you're just making your way up to number one.
Right. Did you write that song?
Yep, I wrote that back in July of 2011 with a buddy of mine, Jason Matthews, and I had just come off of one of them, like, those when you're a kid and you're dreaming about being a musician, you kind of picture that movie Almost Famous, and you want to be on a tour bus one day, and you want to be, with bands on the road, and I had just experienced my first tour bus, my first just all the big cool things that come with having a major record come out. And on top of that, I also had some of the hardest things in my life happen. I had a relationship end that was, difficult to go through, and the extreme highs were matched with these extreme lows. And I just decided to stop taking life for granted and to stop waiting for, maybe one of these days in the future I'll do something. Instead, I wanted to write a song that said, today I'm going to get stuff done. Today is the day I choose to make a difference. And whether it be visiting your family, taking time with your family, or, just relaxing, or getting down to business, but not waiting any longer. So that was the MO of that tune, just an empowering, uplifting song.
Okay, well, why don't we play that now? Good segue. This is One of These Days, Marshall Dane with the ICEMAN.
Come on, girl. Girl, we always say someday when it comes to leaving this town, it's always off in the future. It never seems to come around. I've got a few dollars saved up, and I've got the windows rolled down. I've got a tank full of dreams, and they're telling me there's no better time than now. This is one of these days we've been waiting for. So pack your suitcase, it's getting late. I don't wanna wait anymore. Baby, this is our chance to make our escape. If there ever was a time when nothing on this earth could stand in our way, this is one of these days. I've got an uncle in Vegas. He says we're welcome to stay. Let's get married by Elvis and put our chips down on LA. We'll get a picture taken in front of that big Hollywood sign. We can take it slow or as fast as she'll go, but let's kiss this town goodbye. This is one of these days we've been waiting for. So pack your suitcase, it's getting late. I don't wanna wait anymore. Baby, this is our chance to make our escape. If there ever was a time when nothing on this earth could stand in our way, oh, this is one of these days. Whoa, this is one of these days we've been waiting for. It's gonna happen, baby, and I don't wanna wait anymore. This is one of these days we've been waiting for. So pack your suitcase, it's getting late. I don't wanna wait anymore. Baby, this is our chance to make our escape.
Okay, welcome back to Interviews with the Iceman. Iceman is happy to be with Ontario's own Marshall Dane. And keep him busy, too. You got a show tonight, don't you?
What day is today? Every day I've been saying that. We just got back from the U.S. We were there for a couple of weeks. We were then in Western Canada for a few weeks. I've got a show tonight. And then, let's see here. Then I think I might have Wednesday and Thursday off, but then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we're going again. And then, of course, next week is the CMA Fest. And then we come back to Ontario, and we just nail a whole bunch of dates throughout June, July, and August.
Well, you keep him busy. That's what it's about. Plus, you're on a whirlwind of radio. Every time I'm looking at social media, you're interviewing, you're on radio stations, man. You're doing all the right things, and the music is right there. And like I said, I am so excited to be playing your stuff, man, because I see it. You're going places. You got it there. You have a lot of fun with your music, but also like one of these days, you have alcohol abuse, which is the fun song, but one of these days, man, the lyrics of the song and just taking life's curves and whatnot. Who have you opened up for? Have you opened up for any of the mainstream artists?
I've had a real excellent blessing to open up for guys like Alan Jackson. The famous actor Kevin Costner has a little country band. I've opened up for him. I got asked to open up for Reba McEntire. And then a bunch of other great Canadian artists. Like Blue Rodeo. It's really cool.
People in music that you look up to or that you say, hey, growing up, those were the people that you really looked up to and made you want to get into the music business. Who did you look at?
Well, I mean, a guy like Alan Jackson or Reba McEntire, I've been listening to them my whole life. So those were little dreams come true to get those opportunities. And some of the mainstream artists of today that I would love to find myself on stage with are guys like Zac Brown Band. I love those artists. And I also am a big fan of Eric Church, the new stuff as well as the old stuff.
Right. Well, I see that happening. People always listen. You never know who's listening. So I'm going to listen to this interview that's associated with them. You've got to get in touch with my man, Marshall, get him out there before he's taken up, and you guys are going to be opening up for him.
Right?
What songs did you write on your current CD? Is there anything that stands out as far as things that you wrote on the CD?
Well, some of my favorite tracks that I wrote on there, I mean, songs like Work It Out or Till I Get to You. Till I Get to You was a song, originally, the idea in my mind, I wrote that in February of 2012. I always seem to write good songs in February. But that tune there, actually, talk about, having a little bit of a twist to the lyric. The song was about a girlfriend of mine that had passed away, and I had this idea of writing a song, Till I Get to You. These are all the things, I'm going to work my hardest, and I'm going to be a faithful, God-fearing person until I make my way to heaven kind of thing. But then I thought, that's going to be a sad song. And I didn't really want to write a sad song because the person that I was going to write it about was so positive and so happy and so full of loving life. So we turned that tune around, and when I wrote it with a very popular songwriter named Rebecca Lynn Howard, who before she was 30, she had a couple of Grammys as a songwriter. And she said to me, she says, what do you want to write today? And I said, well, I got this title, and I just really want to write a song that makes a girl smile. Like, I want it to be a real happy, friendly, song for girls, really. And so we wrote this tune, and, of course, I came up with the first couple of lyrics, and she goes, Marshall, that sounds creepy. So I said, well, how would you say it? And then, of course, we came up with the lyrics, and, the opening line is, part of me, I've never seen a girl more beautiful. And I would have said it sooner, but I tried to play it cool. And it's like as if you're talking to somebody. And I love songs that come across that way, that it feels like you're reading a letter from one person to another.
Right, exactly. Why don't we play that now? This is Till I Get to You, Marshall Dane and the Iceman.
Hey, yeah, pardon me, I've never seen a girl more beautiful. I would have setting sooner, but I tried to play it cool. Can I buy you a drink? Can I ask you to dance real slow? What could happen tonight? What could happen tonight? Who knows?
Okay, that was Till I Get to You. Iceman here with Marshall Dane, giving us a few minutes of his time. Do you have a favorite place that you've been playing, or a place that you're thinking you want to play?
Well, I got this little bar up the street from me in the town that I live in, and I've been playing there every Tuesday night for some time. And it's amazing how I would work on things at that bar, and then I'd go and do my summer concerts where you're not in front of 60 people, you're in front of 6,000 people, and all those little things that I was able to practice at the little club, under the comfortability of an intimate environment and an environment that I was very well comfortable with. And I would do things like, when I say right on, you say right on, and then the whole audience goes, right on. So then you take that and you get in front of, Alan Jackson and 30,000 people, and you pull off that same little thing, and, you hear a sea of people going, right on. It's great. So I'd say that little bar there, it's called the Rockin' Docks in Port Credit, Ontario, and it's just a great music environment. They have live music 7 days a week. They keep a lot of us working and a lot of us coming back for good quality music that they bring in there. And so hats off to the bars, even though it's sometimes, economically challenging for everybody. The bar industry still as long as it keeps its musicians coming through, really supports the arts. And, so I'd have to tip my hat to that bar here in town.
You're right. Seems like the more you play, whether it's in front of 60, if you keep playing in front of 60 and you're tweaking things outside of the crowd size, it's the same thing when you're in front of, like you said.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long as your nerves aren't affecting you, then it's really the same. You know, you're practicing in the small clubs how to interact with people and how to engage them in your show. And then when you get to the big stage, you just do the same kind of thing. I mean, it's, but you have to practice it on the smaller stages so that you know what you're doing when you get up there.
Do you have a pre-show ritual, whether it's large or small? Is there anything that you do the same or a ritual that you go through before you perform?
I usually tend to, as long as I get my guitar and everything all sorted and make sure it's in tune, and then I do a lot of, like, calisthenics kind of thing. Like, I'll do jumping jacks. I'll do stretches. I'll stretch my arms, my back, my legs, my feet, my ankles, my wrists, my neck, because I'm always flipping my hair around. I do those things just to make sure that when I'm on stage, I'm not thinking of anything other than my performance and my delivery. I don't want to have to think about, a sore arm or something aching or anything like that. So I get that out of the way, and then usually about 5 minutes before I have to hit the stage, I try and just make myself sparse and get out of the way and find a corner. And I get down, I kind of get into like a kneeling position. It kind of looks like I'm praying, but which I do usually give myself a little prayer, but it's just to kind of center myself. I take some big, deep breaths. I calm right down. So after doing the jumping jacks and getting my heartbeat up, I take it and I control it and funnel it and channel it so that when I open my eyes and I get ready to walk out, and there's only like a minute before stage time, I'm in such a zen kind of cool, calm, collected space. And then I walk out on that stage and I feel so comfortable that, again, it's really easy to picture yourself or to remember how comfortable those little clubs are that you get to play before you hit these big stages. And then once I get out there, then it's like unleashing a fire, and you're just giving every bit of soul and energy and passion to the audience. So it's kind of weird. You get excited, then you calm it down, and then you get on stage and you blast it. And then when it's all done, the adrenaline wears off, and you're tired as heck.
Exactly, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week at CMA Fest. I get it on the 5th, and I spoke to Donna and Michael. I'm like, I got to get over and see. I want to get over and see them. So I am looking forward to seeing that energy unleashed in Nashville.
Man,
definitely. Now tell me, there's a song you have, "I'll Be Your Whiskey." I want to play that. Tell me a little about it.
What a song! "I'll Be Your Whiskey" is it's a song basically about what's the word I'm looking for? Salvation. It's not a drinking song. It's a song that basically says, you've got a problem, and you can lean on me to help you. And in the particular case of, the story of the song, it's a girl who is, in a volatile relationship that is not serving her any longer. It's not serving her purpose. And and there she is, she's drinking away her problems. And then, of course, the chorus is, "I'll be your whiskey. Lay that bottle down and kiss me. Let me take care of you. Let me help you." And, you can apply the same emotion or the same thought to anybody that's in a dire strait or in a position where they feel trapped and maybe they don't know how to get out. Maybe they self-medicate, maybe they don't, but they're upset and they're hurt and they need help. And I'm all about helping people that need help, from whether it be charities or whether it be, a friend that, has had some bad choices or has had some tough, life luck, and all about making sure they know that there's always somebody there that cares and will help them. And "I'll Be Your Whiskey" is exactly that kind of tune. It's just meant to say, listen, I've got your back. I can help you.
There you go. There you go, man, and you do good and you get good. Well, right now, this is "I'll Be Your Whiskey," Marshall Dane.
heart again, and I'm getting tired of seeing you cry. The fifth of Jack there in your hand says you need a drinking friend again, but I've got something better this time. Baby, come on over here, let me dry your tears. I can take your pain away tonight. I'll be your whiskey. Lay that bottle down and just kiss me. If you're looking to forget him completely, baby, I'd love to be the one who gets you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey. Whiskey wears off awful quick, it's just a temporary fix, and it leaves you feeling worse than before. But my love doesn't work that way, yeah. Might age, but it won't fade, and you knew that when you walked through my door. Baby, come on over here, I can make them disappear for tonight and the rest of your life. I'll be your whiskey. Lay that bottle down and just kiss me. If you're looking to forget him completely, baby, I'd love to be the one who gets you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey.
Okay, you got the Iceman along with Marshall Dane. I appreciate you giving me a few minutes of your time, brother, man. I see you going places. I get real excited, man. I love your music. Absolutely love it. The listeners love listening to you. Before I do let you go, what do you got in store? I want to phrase that differently, man, because you're one of the busiest guys I've been talking to. What do you see in the next year or so? I know you got the radio and you're playing a lot of different venues. I mean, your goal in the next year or so, where do you see yourself, or where do you want to be as far as where you play or performing?
Well, I would like to see myself build a bigger team around me. You know, people that are vested in helping the project go forward. And I would like to start working on writing for another record. I mean, I'm already starting to write for another record, but I would really like to get that process more of my focus and take the time to get back down to Nashville to write with some of my friends there, write with some of my friends back here in Canada, and then, just get even more sincere and even more honest about the music and the words and the lyrics and the message I want to give across. So, aside from, like you said, obviously I'm always doing something. It's always busy, but there'll always be gigs. So hopefully they just, maintain. Hopefully I still have, lots of work and look forward to possibly a new record in 2015. Right.
We look forward to be your third one. Iceman, looking forward to it, and you just keep it up, man. And like I said, I can't wait to see you next week and shake your hand and thank you for the job that you do and the music that you bring, because of people like you that I get to do what I love. But Marshall Dane,
I appreciate people like you, because you help spread the message and the word out there to people. And, I really appreciate your listeners, and it's my pleasure to do what I do for you and everybody else.
Well, I appreciate the time. I'm going to leave. We're going to end the show with Stay Up Late. Marshall Dane, thank you for coming and speaking to the Iceman. You have a great show tonight, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Iceman, you take care of your bad self, and we'll catch you in a little while.
I know we talked about going out tonight. Baby, if it's alright with you, I just assume we crack open a bottle of wine, stay right here the whole night through. We can kiss on the couch and dance in the kitchen, sit on the porch and listen to the crickets sing us a song, and all our words away. And a little later on when the wine starts working, we'll call it a night and close all the curtains. Come on, baby, I can hardly wait to go to bed early and stay up late. Who needs those candles in that fancy restaurant? We can stay right here and light our own. And that rockin' band downtown won't even cross our minds when we put a little Otis Redding on. We can kiss on the couch and dance in the kitchen, sit on the porch and listen to the crickets sing us a song, and all words away. And a little later on the wine starts working, we'll call it a night, close all the curtains. Come on, baby, I can hardly wait to go to bed early and stay up late. Couch and dance in the kitchen.
Kiss on the couch and dance in the kitchen.
Sit on the porch, listen to the crickets.
Oh, I wanted to say
we can kiss on the couch and dance in the kitchen. Sit on the porch and listen to the crickets sing us a song, and all the worries